friends, Happy New Year!
Yeah, today we're going to draw Happy New Year, the words. And we hope you're going to follow along with us. You need your drawing supplies. And in this lesson, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're using our pencil first.
Yes.
But we're also using a black marker, but we're going to use the black marker at the very end after we've colored it.
Okay.
It's going to be really cool. So we hope you have all your supplies ready and you're going to follow along with us. You ready to start?
Yes.
In this lesson, we're also using marker paper to draw on. This helps keep our markers lasting longer, and it's also fun to use. We're also using our Art for Kids Hub alcohol-based marker set, and if you have the same markers, you can follow along with the same colors, but also remember you don't have to. You could use different markers or even crayons or even something completely different like colored pencils.
Yeah.
One of the questions that we get a lot from our art friends is how do you stop the black marker from smearing when you're coloring? So that's why we're going to use our black marker at the very end, and we're going to show our art friends a little trick. And you could do this with all of our art lessons.
Yes.
So first we're using our pencil to draw with, and we're going to draw all of the guidelines first. So let's draw Happy New Year, or write the words Happy New Year. So first I'm going to write the word happy, and I'm going to draw it small and up here in the top left corner. So we got H, and I drew a capital H, lowercase a, 2 P's,
It's a little bit small.
and a Y. Now also remember you can pause the video if you need extra time if we go too fast. Nice job. Now we're going to draw the words new and year, or right. And first, we're going to imagine a guideline right down the middle of our paper, splitting it in half. And if you want, you could even draw it with a pencil. But this is so that we can balance the words new and year on our paper. So first, we're going to draw or write the word year, and I'm going to write it starting in the center of the paper. So here's the middle line, and I'm going to draw the Y right here. I know this is a little weird, but this is so that we can center it. So if you want, you could also draw that center line. And then you can write the letter Y. Then E, and I'm going to draw these really big. A, R, oh, I'm kind of scrunching them together so that it fits, because I wrote them really big. You might want to erase and write your letters a lot smaller. You're going to run out.
Yeah.
Or you could just keep going. Yeah. Do you want to erase? And you could write them smaller. I'm also, while you're doing that, I'm also going to add an exclamation mark. And then also while you're doing that, I'm going to write the word new over here. But I want to leave a little space, and we could even write the word backwards. So I'm going to write the W first, then the E, and then the N. Good job, Austin. We did it. We finished writing our guide words, or guidelines, for the words Happy and New Year. Now we need to turn them into bubble letters. And this is really fun. We're going to just trace around the outside of the guidelines like this. And because we're doing bubble letters, we're going to draw them really round instead of block letters. So block letters, we'll use straight lines. Bubble letters, we're going to use big, bubbly, round lines. Yeah, and then we can switch to the next letter. And I'm using overlapping. Well, I'm going to draw these really big. There we go. E, and then the W. And if you want, you can space your letters out more so that they don't overlap. That makes it a little bit easier. But it's also fun when they overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how your N and your E don't overlap. There's space in between. And then I love that you made the W behind the E so that it looks more 3D. That looks really cool. This next part we're going to speed up, but we're just going to repeat that same step and create bubble letters around the word year. We could also do it around the word happy, but I also think I might just leave it like that.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to fast forward?
Mm-hmm.
We finished drawing the bubble lines. Now we're ready to erase the guidelines. So we're going to switch to our eraser. This part will speed up again, so remember to pause it. We're going to go around and erase all of the lines that we don't want to keep. So we're going to erase the inside or the first letter that we drew, just the guidelines. And if there's also overlapping, you can erase any of those extra overlapped lines. Okay, we finished erasing the guidelines. We also erased the exclamation mark because we ran out of room on both of ours.
Yeah.
Now we're ready to color our drawings. And this part's really fun because you can change the colors any way you want. You don't have to color it like us. You can color all one color, or you could change the colors for each letter. You ready to speed things up again?
Yes.
Before we fast forward, the pencils also smear. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
So when I'm coloring around the happy word, I'm doing a little bubble outline and it's still smearing. But it's a little bit easier with the pencil line because at the end we're going to trace over it with the marker. So we'll hide some of those smears. We're using our 35 yellow. If you have the same set, you can use the same colors. And we decided to use the primary colors or Art for Kids Hub colors. We're going to do the word happy in yellow, and then we're going to color new, maybe red or blue, and then year also red or blue.
Okay.
With the alcohol-based markers, they are supposed to smear. It's one of the, I think, the coolest parts about the markers because it helps with blending. It makes things easier to blend because they smear the pencil and also the black. It also happens more with the lighter colors. So when you go over the pencil with the red marker, it doesn't smear as much. So you don't have to be as careful, but with lighter colors like yellow, or even the lighter red colors or pink colors, or green, light blue, those colors will always blend or bleed the pencil or the marker more than the darker colors. This was 15 red. Now I'm switching to 66 blue to color in the word year. Another cool trick is once your markers are dried, you can go back over with the same color to darken or add a darker layer. And I like doing this for shading to make it look more 3D. So you're going to add a little shadow in between the overlapped letters. And see how we're using the same color, 66 blue, but it looks like a darker blue than the first time we used it. When you layer with the red 15, it doesn't show up as dark as the blue does when you use the same color. So I'm using a darker red to add the shading. This is number 2. Before we switch to our black marker, I'm adding one more detail. I'm using my CG1. This is Cool Gray 1 to add a shadow underneath my letters. And you don't have to add this. You can leave this off. I thought it will make it look even more 3D. All right, Austin, we finished adding all of our colors to our drawing. Now we're ready to trace back over the pencil lines with our black marker. So this part will speed up again. So remember to pause the video, take that extra time. We could even add more details. Oh, I think we need to.
Yeah.
I think when we're fast forwarding, let's add balloons and also confetti.
Okay.
Austin, we did it. We finished drawing and coloring Happy New Year. It turned out awesome. Except there's one last thing I really like to add to our drawings, usually almost every drawing. We switched to our white colored pencil. This is a Prismacolor colored pencil, and you can add highlights on top of the marker. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Now you could also do this without coloring, like you could leave the white paper coming through. That also works as a highlight. But I think sometimes it's a little easier to add the highlight, just color solid and then add the highlight on top after. Now you could also add highlights to the balloons. And one thing I'm trying to also remember when we're adding these highlights is to put them in the same place so that the sun or the light that's shining on our drawing is coming from the same direction on all of our objects.
So it's not looking like there's two suns.
Yeah, two suns. So I'm adding the highlight to the top left of everything, or just the top of everything. And then also I tried to put the shadow at the bottom or the opposite of where the highlight is. Now we're completely finished, and I especially love your drawing, Austin.
Thanks, I like yours too.
I also really like that our two drawings don't look exactly the same. That's okay, because the most important thing is,
To have fun.
yeah, and to
Practice.
practice. Remember to have fun and practice. And I hope our art friends really like these extra tips in this lesson on how you can draw with the black marker at the very end to prevent the smearing.
We hope you had a lot of fun drawing with us.
We do. We hope you had a lot of fun, and we'll see you later, our friends. Goodbye.